Welcome to Authentic Man Conversation. This is season 2, and we are grateful that you find time to watch and to share with your friends whatsoever things you hear. And we know that God is doing something in your life. Even as you hear us, God is doing something big in your life. We're talking about the Lone Ranger. Yeah, and there's something I would like us to just read from the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 23. Yeah, I will read. It says, "And being let go, they went to their own company and reported all that the chief priests and elders had said unto them." Yeah, now we have seen this was Peter and John, right?
Yeah. This is after they have been apprehended and they have been caned publicly.
Wow.
But I like the fact that, Peter wasn't just doing ministry solo because he was the bishop by the way.
He was the bishop.
At that particular moment, he was the big fish. I remember when in Acts chapter 12, after James has been beheaded, Herod says, "Let us now go for the big fish." Peter was the big fish. He was the bishop. But I still like the fact that when he was arrested, he was with someone. So he was not just alone.
Okay.
He didn't see himself as a lone ranger.
Yeah. So he went to his own company. And many times people that know they have gifts, God has given to them a lot of things, beautiful things. I think it's important to always learn to incorporate people in our lives. When God is doing something, whenever there is a vision, let me use the case of a church. What would you say if one day you went to a church, you found that the pastor is the one preaching, he's the one playing the piano, he's the one singing, he's the one collecting the offering, he's just a one-man thing, and he's even ushering people. You see, but you see, when God gives a man a vision, one of the things he does is that he brings people around him.
True. And I think we see that also in the book of Exodus, where they tell Moses, "You'll get tired.
You'll get tired." Wow, that was Jethro.
Actually, you will get tired.
Okay.
You can't, be the person doing everything. Appoint people.
I can picture a line of 100,000 people. Moses is sitting there waiting to see each and every one. That is a disaster.
Imagine, and there's a reason why Bible says, though we may be many, it says we are members of the same body.
Members of the same body.
So that we can learn to function together. And I just like us to take us a little back from our previous sharing.
Okay.
We began just mentioning about disappointment being one of the reasons why really sometimes we isolate ourselves. And I will take us to the story of Joseph.
Okay.
Joseph is sold into slavery by his own blood brothers. People that he actually never expected to be the reason why he will be sold into slavery. But he's a slave as a result of his own brothers. And we see him in Egypt. He has gone to Egypt, he has been in prison, and now he's out of prison exhaling. And his brothers come asking for food. And he notices that these are my brothers, but he does not tell himself that, I don't need these people anymore. I was almost saying hallelujah. Interesting. Interesting. But I like how he looks at his brothers and they say, well, we did you bad. We did you bad. In other words, we disappointed you. But look at how he responds. He does not close and refuse to to embrace them as his brothers. He opens up. He has first of all received healing that these people actually sold me into slavery, and now is actually restoring them as his brothers.
Wow.
He says, you guys, you meant it for evil, but there's something God was working behind your doing. So he embraces them because he actually realized that, at the end of the day, these are my brothers. I need them. Sometimes we are offended because they are selfish.
Okay.
Let's learn to, cut some slack
Uh-huh.
on people. Let's just allow people to be people.
Uh,
Let's allow people to be people around us.
people don't have to tiptoe on hot coals when they're
Look
around us.
Look at what Jesus did.
Okay.
Jesus has resurrected after, in fact, before he dies, actually before he's even arrested, he tells Peter, but they will deny me.
Wow.
Wow. And Peter says, you don't know me deny you. You don't know. But we see Peter denying Jesus.
Uh-huh.
We see the eyes of Peter meeting with the eyes of Jesus, but he does not go back on his word saying, you know what, I lied, I know this guy.
Okay.
But and 3 days later, Peter has gone back to the occupation that he was doing before Jesus called him.
Mm-hmm.
The occupation that he never used to earn a salary from.
Mm-hmm.
But look at Jesus resurrecting.
He
and then
first asks for Peter.
He first asks for Peter. He says, go and tell my disciples and Peter.
He had to mention Peter
by name. So that Peter will know, by the way, I'm not disappointed at you.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jesus, imagine if Judas will have just realized that,
Mm-hmm.
this man will not be disappointed at me. He will have restored him.
No, let's just even look at Jesus again on the cross. Mm-hmm. Look at something Jesus says. He says, Father, forgive them. He says they do not know what they are doing. He refused to be offended. He refused. That was the height of persecution a man can ever experience. But he didn't say, you guys, you don't know who God is. Like the way, I can call fire from heaven to burn you right now. Yeah. And then look at again Stephen. Stephen, when he's being stoned, he says, Father, forgive them because they do not know what they're doing. And Paul was there. Stephen made a prayer that brought a general into the king. Paul came because a man refused to be offended. Well, that's again something else. What is the point? The point is, when God puts us in a community, our focus is to love people. Yeah. We must never be selfish to demand from people. We must always focus on what we bring to people. True. And you see, even when people miss out, when people fall short, there is still that allowance of love one another as I have loved you.
True.
How did God love us?
Unconditionally. It was a love that was not based on performance. Mm-hmm. It had no expectation as a price tag. Mm-hmm. It was just a love that, loves.
It just loves. Wow, I like that.
And when we love one another, we learn to coexist with each other. Mm-hmm. Listen, the truth is that nobody can make it in this world alone.
Yeah.
There's the famous proverb, no man is an island.
No man is an island. Yeah.
We need each other. Mm-hmm. There is something, there's a song says it was the fire of the young man. It was the story of the poet. It was the wisdom of the old that they made, the city upon a hill to stand strong. We need each other. Regardless of, what people have done against you, you still need people.
There's something that's interesting that is coming to my head. That you see, a good meal is not cooked by onion alone. It's good as a person. Understand? Tomatoes alone don't make the best meal. It has to be in that group of there is beef there is onions there is another, there is tomato, there is dania, there
is a whole. Yeah. You have to incorporate all these ingredients and they work together. There is salt.
No, that's exactly what we're talking about. Learn to exist in a community.
Wow.
Learn to walk in love. Learn to see people beyond their faults. If you see people beyond their faults, you will enjoy life. You will love people, and they will enjoy being around you. You'll find very beautiful relationships are not based on just what the other person is doing to you. They are based on you bringing love there, walking in love. No more lone ranging. Involve people in your life, right? Involve people deeply in your life.
That was just us having authentic conversation. You can catch us on Instagram, Facebook, and now on YouTube. Our handle is Authentic Man 101.
Yes.
See you again.